but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Now the Broncos offense, they get set to head back onto the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points get that 0 off the board. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. Back alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Bronco football to begin quarter number 2. They've got it 2nd and 4 to start things out. From the pistol, they run with Anderson. Takes to midfield, but no further. Just a yard there.
Well, when you go from 2nd and 4 to 3rd and 3, that just tells you who won that battle on the last play, huh?
Yeah, first round went to the offense, second round the defense. From midfield now, here's Lynch. Screen play, Anderson. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th. Here we go on 4th down with Lynch. And the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. Kenny Clark coming up the middle, gets him there for a loss of about 9. They'll run it now out of the gun. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
The give is to Jones. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. It'll be a loss of 1, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
That goes down as a loss against his rushing stats, but really, should he have to absorb that one? He had no chance on that play before they overwhelmed him.
Pretty much on top of him before he could take his first step. Throwing is Rodgers. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th. This offense converted once on 4th down earlier. Now they're out there again to try once more. They'll go for it. It's Rodgers. Eluding the pressure right. It's caught. Jones. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 16. It's a pickup of 19 yards on the play. And on 4th down, they're able to convert and move the sticks. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. We're back to Lambeau following these words. Throwing on first down is Rodgers. Flush to his right. And that's going to be too high. Out of bounds and incomplete. They're going for a receiver there. Already has 1 touchdown in this first half. A second one not to be.
I like where their headspace is, though. I mean, I really like the thought process, right? You got a guy who's already scored 1, right? You want to go back to him, continue the hot hand, and make them adjust to you defensively. I like what they were trying to get done, even though they weren't successful.
4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. On 2nd down, here's Rodgers. And Rodgers is going to go down. He's sacked. Von Miller from his outside linebacker spot, forcing the sack for a loss of 8. Rodgers now, after the sack, he'll lead the pack up on 3rd and long. To throw is Rodgers. Off the bootleg. Being chased out left. Touchdown, Packers! Lance Kendricks, a 14-yard touchdown. And the Packers add 6 to their lead.
That's almost just not right. You cover everybody, but those tight ends, they can be awfully reliable.
Very reliable. The defense just has to hate those guys.
Just drives them crazy because oftentimes you can't match up with them. They have you either with size, speed, or maybe even just strength.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Broncos offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Now Lynch to throw. And the catch made. This is Emmanuel Sanders. They give him a gain of 38.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield, but when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
And lucky to get away with one there. That one nearly picked. 2nd down.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Lynch. And this is caught at the 8. And they do get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. That one goes for 24 yards. Once again, it's Lynch. His pass caught at the 4. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Emmanuel Sanders in the final seconds of the first half. And the Broncos cut into that lead. Now McManus on to kick this one off. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll be out of bounds here just past the 20-yard line. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
A final shot before half for Rodgers. Escaping the pressure right. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. So we've hit intermission. It's halftime. This is the NFL, and it's a presentation of EA Sports. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Here comes the Broncos offensive unit here as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there.
But this is
I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be third down.
Well, the stats that matter on this play don't help a team very much unless, of course, you're playing defense.
If you're getting points per reception, you got a reception, but no yardage. Great job by the defense, though. They read through that one.
They read through it, gave up no yardage, and people got credit for tackles. Pretty good deal. Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. And they'll indeed go for it with Lynch. Packer pressure, and down he goes. Clay Matthews coming in from his outside linebacker spot. He buries him for a loss of 10 or 11. And they'll start this drive with very good field position. Rodgers now on first down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, third quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives them a first and goal.
Well, he does have one touchdown in the game already, and while this one won't go for 6, it's enough to get him first and goal. But you and I both know he's going to be a little upset he didn't cross the goal line for a second time in this one.
Might want the ball here on the next play. Play action. Now it's Rodgers. They'll roll him out right. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by the free safety, Darian Stewart. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown. So from one end zone all the way to the other. Talk about a turnaround.
And how about the excitement that that play generates for his team? Not just the points on the board, but the momentum and taking it from coast to coast, end zone to end zone. What a tremendous play. Now get that man an oxygen tent.
That's your boy Old Mo, you said. Momentum, right?
Old Mo, I think he's kind of limping across at the end because of that distance, but he made it.
And he is out of bounds as they'll start up past the 30. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And following the pick six, and they had decent field position in throwing that pick six. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told him, and they told us, they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
On first down, Rodgers. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Von Miller in there to pick up his second sack now of the afternoon. On play action, it's Rodgers. And they can't get the long connection as it falls incomplete.
The best receivers we know always tease their quarterbacks that, hey, no matter what you do, you cannot overthrow me. Well, guess what? That's exactly what happened on that play. Normally, they time it up pretty well, but on that one, he just overshot him.
And hauled in here by Richard Rodgers. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. Here's Rodgers. He sets up the screen to Jones. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. The first down screen pass, good for 5.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass, looked like it was coming together, looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
On play action. Now Rodgers. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Von Miller getting him once again. His third sack of the afternoon. On play action. Rodgers. And that one incomplete. They tried to sneak in a deep ball with the clock running down, but to no avail as time will expire on this third quarter of play. So on fourth down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a two-score game. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And that will extend their lead even further. So a big one there as that gives them a little cushion.
And you know, here in the fourth quarter, the fact that they were able to bleed some time off the clock and put points on the board, even if it's only 3, that could turn out to be the drive that ultimately wins them the game.
And Denver getting set to take the field. And on that last drive, went for it on fourth, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on fourth down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
Here's Lynch. Left side here to Sanders. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection. He goes underneath for Anderson. And he goes out of bounds inside the 10 at the 9. 23 yards on the play. This offense can certainly move quickly when they want to. 3 plays, 3 pass completions. In the blink of an eye, they've got it first and goal.
Almost felt like a lightning bolt hit in this game, didn't it? For them to get downfield that quickly. And now first and goal, expect them to tackle right here on this play.
And he's going to pull his way down to about the 1-yard line. A good run, 8 yards there, and it'll be second and goal. They'll run for it with Anderson. And this time the yards won't come so easy as they'll, in fact, tackle him behind the line. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down. They got to have 6 here. It's third and goal. They'll run it. Here's Anderson. And he will not only not get the yard he needed, he goes the wrong direction. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's fourth down. And McManus able to put it through. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. All right, so you needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal then maybe not exactly what they wanted, but it's a necessary first step.
Still plenty of time remaining, but you could really use a stop defensively after the kickoff, preferably a 3-and-out.
And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's third down.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key third down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key third down. Highlight that word. Put it in bold. Here we go. Throwing is Rodgers on third down. And And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. And here's a big one now. Try to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. They'll go with Jones. And this is going to be nowhere close. Needed some inches and ended up losing yardage. Mike McCarthy took the gamble, didn't pay off. And the Broncos are going to get the football back in great field position. He's back to throw. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. He was trying to get it to Benny Fowler that time. That'll bring up 2nd down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Benny Fowler, 32 yards. And the Broncos are an extra point away from tying the football game. And no sweat. He puts it through, and we are tied here in the 4th. Set to go now with the kickoff. These two teams all even again as we continue in this wild 4th quarter. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll be out of bounds across the 25. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned it to 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on 4th down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
He got 29 yards that time.
Now you're right on the edge of field goal range. You've still got time, but get up to the line of scrimmage and get set.
Now Rodgers. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
To throw is Rodgers. Flushed out right. And he's got room. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. And a stoppage here. A timeout before this 3rd down play takes place. As they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in the 4th. Back to throw. Rodgers. And this is going to be incomplete. The way he's thrown the football today, almost a surprise when he doesn't complete a pass like happened there, but he needs a few more to get his guys downfield.
Well, the way he's thrown it leads him to believe that he's going to get those completions, and that means the guys going out for passes, they'll run even harder because they expect it as well.
Rodgers going to go on 4th down. And Adams has it complete. And he's going to be taken down, but not before reaching the 15-yard line. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play. Rodgers to throw. Rifles one incomplete. He was looking for his tight end, Richard Rodgers, that time. And it's 2nd down.
The effort's always going to be there. Everyone's always going to try and make a catch, but underthrown balls, I think, are the toughest ones to come back and get because usually your momentum's going in the opposite direction.
And that's going to be caught. Touchdown. And they've broken our tie here in the final minute.
I don't know how many more of these my heart can take, my man. I just don't know. Another big touchdown late in the game. They look like they're in control, but still, there's a chance. Block the extra point, go down and score, kick the extra point themselves. they can pull this one out.
Yeah, but also on the sideline that just took the lead, you got to get your defense ready and the special teams unit for the kickoff coming up.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Got to pull everyone together and make sure they're still focused and aren't already celebrating a win.
And Denver